Hey guys, welcome to Cheers to Fears. Today we're doing a live stream for you guys, and it's our first time doing it, so bear with us for any technical difficulties. We were a little bit late today. We're still trying to figure things out, and we ended up having to make a new stream because,
Yeah, a few setbacks, but other than that, I think we're ready to go. Let us get into a few things. First of all, what we're going to do is you can see that the format here is a little odd. So obviously we have tiers S, A, B, C, D, and F. And we kind of have a percentage of like what we thought the movie was, like from like obviously 100% to 0%. In saying that, we also have a drinking game going along with it. So for example, you see like S tier is one shot. So every time we put a movie in S tier, we're going to be taking a shot.
Yeah, exactly. And pretty much what we're going to do is tell you what movie we're looking at, say what the genre is, a brief, short, one-sentence type synopsis of the movie, and then just get into what our ranking is. We're not going to be doing any deep dives or any reviews about the movies, so don't expect that from us. It's just a straight-up ranking video, I guess. Yeah. We also want to let everyone know that if you do comment, your comment will be brought up on the screen, kind of like what we just showed here. So yeah, just giving you a heads up, I guess. But I guess without further ado, we'll just get right into it.
Let's hop right in. Okay, so first movie.
So first movie will be ranking, and this is in no particular order, it's just randomized. So first is not showing up, The Djinn.
The Djinn. Okay, The Djinn is a supernatural horror film. A mute boy is trapped in his apartment with a sinister monster when he makes a wish to fulfill his heart's greatest desire. So what we're also going to be doing is we're going to only be doing movies that we've reviewed for this year. So, for example, I haven't seen The Djinn, but Tucker has. So he's going to be doing strictly his rating on it from the S tier to F tier.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the same with some things that he's, what I've seen, what he's seen, or whenever it's things that we've both seen, which is, I'd say most of the things. We'll be just kind of collaborating together to kind of find a middle point for it.
Yeah. Anyways.
Without further ado, Tucker, what do you think?
The Djinn, I would probably rate this D tier. Not gonna lie. It wasn't anything special. I was intrigued to find out about the concept, but it's pretty much just D tier. So take a sip for that. I guess it's worth. We should tell you what we're drinking. I'm just drinking beer tonight.
Yeah. I have an odd mix. I have Smirnoff pink lemonade, regular lemonade, and Sprite.
Yeah. So cheers.
Alrighty.
All right. Next up on the list
is The Forever Purge.
And this is a movie that I didn't end up watching, that Alex has watched, so
yes,
take it away.
So, Forever Purge. I've got Forever Purge, dystopian horror action film. One more night of purging, where the founding fathers of America are back in control of the country. The people of the country decide that they want the purge to be ongoing, as they do not want things to go back to normal. So, give me a second. I'm just going to pull up my notes here really quick. If I can, anyways. Forever Purge. Okay. So, I really lingered off and on about this, and I guess I decided to put it in F tier, which is very bad, which means we have to finish our drinks. And we just started.
We're starting this off strong.
Yeah. I was also debating putting it in D tier, but honestly, like, especially compared to the other Purge movies, this is super, super bad, in my opinion anyways. People could think that it's, like, pretty good or, like, better or whatever. It felt very pointless as far as everything really goes. It shows how flawed, like, the Purge is in general, which is not something you try to do for your movies, because then it has less replayability, because then your audience really kind of questions it a lot more. And altogether, just the whole, like, oh, the founding fathers kind of want this, but then everything just fucking blows up in their face. It just makes you hate the franchise even more. I don't know. Either way, we have to finish our drinks.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Starting it off right, I guess.
Okay, give me one more second here.
Yeah, no rush. We're here all night. And feel free to play along with us if you're watching this too. You can do what we're ranking it, or if you have your own rankings, just grab a drink and, drink with us.
There we go.
Let us pour a new one here before we get the next one open. I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah. I think I was planning on putting it in D tier, but I was like, I did not care about the movie that much, so.
That's fair.
It's a very rough start, to say the least.
Also, just heads up for when we do end up taking a few shots. We don't know how many yet, but we're just taking a shot of green balls. We like balls. And root beer schnapps. We're going to mix it up, go back and forth.
Mm. It's nothing too heavy, especially since we're doing some heavy drinking for 36.
Yeah.
Okay, you can continue if you want.
Anyways, moving on. Next one on our list is VHS 94. Excuse me.
VHS 94, found footage anthology movie. A police SWAT team investigates a mysterious VHS tape and discovers a sinister cult that has pre-recorded material which uncovers a nightmarish conspiracy. So, I haven't watched this, so Tucker, take it away.
Alright, so we have quite a few right off the bat, I guess, that we haven't seen, but VHS 94, it was a decent anthology movie. I had a lot of fun. There was some really cool imagery. I wasn't the biggest fan of every what do you call it, short in it, I guess?
Yeah, every segment.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of every segment, but it was fun to watch. It was worth watching. That being said, it is still around the same level as the Djinn, so it's going to D tier as well.
I'm kind of surprised. I heard a little bit better things about this.
Yeah, me too, and that's why I was super pumped to watch it, and it's probably... Obviously, this is just our opinion. We're not basing it off of anyone else.
Mine could have been A tier, but I mean, again, I didn't see it. But I'm very thankful that it's just one sip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One sip. And it looks like we got a comment here from Spyro. Howdy, fellas. Hey, Spyro, how's it going?
Nice to have you here, Spyro. Thanks for tuning in.
Hope you have a drink in your hand so you can play along with us. Anyways, we move on to the next one here, which is
Jacob's Wife.
Jacob's Wife.
Okay, Jacob's Wife is a horror thriller. Anne, married to a small-town minister, feels her life has been shrinking over the past 30 years. Encountering the Master brings her a new sense of power and appetite to live bolder. However, the changes come with a heavy body count. This is finally a movie that Tucker and I have seen.
Both of us,
Both of us have seen...
And I think this is one we
Jacob's
actually
Wife.
kind of disagree on a little bit. Because for me, I would put this D tier.
Okay.
And that's just because I'm not the biggest fan of, the vampire movies in general.
It has a very unique twist to it. I'm going to put it in B tier, so that means it's relegated to C tier.
Yeah, so we'll just average it out and put it at C, which I'm quite fine doing that as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's
But
I could see why you would like it.
I'm a big fan of rats in general. I love me some rats.
The teeth definitely look like rats.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just like vampires based on rats, which I find absolutely great. I find that that's a fucking great B-schlock movie.
And for me, a lot of what took me out of it was the special effects. It wasn't too great.
Yeah, they weren't great. Like, I understand that, but for what it was worth, I liked the movie, actually.
And it looks like we got everything horror. Hey, Hector, how's it going? What's up, guys? Just having some drinks, looking in.
Big shout out to Hector with Hector here from Everything Horror. He's actually the kind of person... He's the person that actually influenced us to do our own live stream. Our first live stream was with him, and we were very uncomfortable, to say the least, doing our first one. And then...
He was also really good at keeping the conversation going as well. And
he was a very good host. Definitely check out his content, our live stream that we did with him for sure. Yeah.
And he's kind of transformed it into a podcast, which is on Spotify and I think it's on Apple. I forget all the places, but it's a good listen, and you guys should check it out. So
Yeah.
shout out to him. Hope you enjoy the show, and if you have any questions or comments, definitely keep them coming. Anyways, moving on to the advent calendar, and I don't know if this is something you have seen.
I have not seen event calendar, however you'd like to pronounce it.
Advent calendar.
Advent calendar. Okay, so Eva is a paraplegic. On her birthday, her friend Sophie gives her a strange advent calendar. It is not the traditional treats you find when you open each drawer, but quirky gifts that are scary and get bloodier. All right, take it away, Tucker.
I just want to say we didn't take our 2 sips for Jacob's
Oh,
wife.
good call.
Anyways, the Advent Calendar, I thought it was a super fun movie, and it was an interesting concept. It is a French movie, so there are subtitles, so if that's not your thing, then, maybe not watch it, but my ranking is A tier, actually.
Okay, nice.
So it's a pretty solid movie, and it was a fun movie to watch during the holidays, which is when I watched it. So I definitely recommend
I think it's
checking it
streaming
out.
on Shudder right now.
I believe it is a Shudder exclusive.
Oh, it's a Shudder exclusive. Okay.
Maybe it's not a Shudder exclusive, but I think that's where I watched it.
Okay.
But yeah, the Advent Calendar. 4 sips.
Alrighty.
And we got Everything Horror again commenting. I actually like the Forever Purge. Hey man, it's everyone's opinion, and I can't comment on it. I haven't seen it, but
I wasn't a fan, actually. I don't know. It hit me differently. I wasn't a big fan. I found a lot of flaws in the movie.
that's fair. And if you did like it, that's awesome. Like, I like when people like movies. So I don't want people to be miserable when watching them. So, yeah.
Speaking about movies people will probably like, or at least you'll like, I haven't seen it, is our next one, which is Slacks.
Slacks. That's the next one.
Slacks
So,
is the next one.
yeah, here's the poster for that. And yeah, this one I watched, and this is, I guess,
Yeah.
go into it.
Sorry, when a possessed pair of jeans begins to kill the staff of a trendy clothing store, it is up to Libby, an idealistic young sales clerk, to stop the bloody rampage.
Yeah, so this is a horror comedy, and it's a fun watch, I will admit, and it's fun. It would be fun to make a drinking game too, I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, for ranking, in terms of how good of a movie it is, I would have to put it D tier. It's a fun watch, but I wouldn't call it a good movie by any means. So, yeah, it's gonna be D tier, which is just 1 sip. And bear with us with this formatting. It's the first time we've ever done this, so we're just kind of winging it.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty.
I just gotta take my sip for that.
So we're moving into.
Just 1 sec, sorry.
Yep.
There.
Are we trying to find them?
Yeah. This is the only one where it's kind of out of order, and I wish it wasn't. Here we go.
There we go.
So,
Okay.
Fear Street Part 1.
Yep. We're gonna do all the Fear Streets together here for obvious reasons.
This is the only time where the random order kind of threw us off.
Yeah.
But
Okay, Fear Street Part 1. A circle of teenage friends accidentally encounter an ancient evil responsible for a series of brutal murders that have plagued their town for over 300 years. Welcome to Sunnyside. So, this is a slasher movie, which is very interesting. It was, I think, it feels like a lot of a Goosebumps movie.
yeah, it is.
It's a
And I'm
Goosebumps
pretty
for
sure
adults. Mm-hmm.
R.L. Stein, didn't he write the Fear Street books?
Yes, he did.
So it's the same author as Goosebumps,
Exactly,
so
yeah.
it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I
I forgot that it was R.L. Stein for half a second there. Wow.
Yeah.
Anyways, what is your ranking for this?
My ranking for this is, for Fear Street Part 1, actually I feel like they're all pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
And for me it would be a B tier.
Okay. For this one, I have A tier actually.
B and A.
Yeah.
So I would say this is probably my favorite one.
This is your favorite one? Okay.
I think the Part 1 is my favorite one. And out of all the three, if I was to put any of them in A tier, it would be this one.
Okay.
So I think I'll concede and give you the A tier for that
Okay.
which is 4 sips.
Yeah. So in saying that, do you want to make the other two B tier?
Well,
Well, I guess we'll go into your rankings here.
we'll see.
But we can get right into Fear Street.
Let's take our
next
drinks first.
Oh, very good call.
4 sips. Alright. Fear Street Part 2. What do you think about that one?
Fear Street Part 2. Shady Side and School's Out for the Summer in 1978. And activities at Nightwing Camp are about to begin. When another shady sider is possessed with the urge to kill, this fun in the sun becomes a gruesome fight for survival. So it's weird that you say this because 1978 is actually my favorite of the bunch.
Yeah. And it's kind of a close call for me between 1 and 2, not gonna lie.
Okay.
Third wasn't my favorite, but I would still put this as B tier.
I have this one as A as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, since I conceded to you for A, do you want to do it for B? To me?
Yeah, we'll do B for this one.
Okay. And
Yeah, I will say high B's though. High B's
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah, that I do agree. I do agree.
Like,
and
continue. Sorry.
and like obviously we're kind of taking the averages from both of our opinions and trying to compromise in the middle ground type of thing.
Yeah.
So we might not totally line up. We do line up in a lot of cases, but sometimes we gotta just kind of wing it. And if we were doing this on our own, like if I was making my own list and he was making his own, it would look a little different. But
Yeah.
it's a combined list, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
But we gotta take 3 sips for that one.
3 sips. And next up, of course, is obviously Fear Street Part 3. Fear Street 1666? Alrighty, the origins of Sarah Fear's curse are finally revealed as history comes full circle on a night that changed the lives of shady siders forever. So,
I mean, we kind of got into it already.
we
This
got
is my
into it.
least favorite.
Yeah, this is also my least favorite.
So I did rank them all the same, I will say.
Yeah, I ranked mine all the same too. So this one I also said A, but this one can't be A obviously. Just because
yeah, you can't put it over the other one.
I don't want to put it over second.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
There's not a chance. So this is B tier, which means another 3 sips for us.
Yep.
And you guys if you were playing along.
Yeah. And sorry, I'll take my sips here, I swear. Promise. This is insane. I've already gone through 2 drinks. Anyways, by the end of this, we might not be able to end the stream, so you might watch us pass out at this table.
And to sleep here for 6 hours. Alright,
The amusement park, is that next?
Amusement Park is next.
Alright, the amusement park. I think this might be another one you haven't seen.
I have not seen the Amusement Park. It is a psychological thriller about an elderly gentleman that goes for what he assumes is an ordinary day at the amusement park, only to find himself in the middle of a hellish nightmare.
Yeah, so this is... I don't even want to call it a slow burn. It's not necessarily a slow burn, but it's kind of slower. But at the same time, for me, it was super interesting and like... I enjoyed watching it, but in terms of how good of a movie it is, I'm going to have to put it in D tier.
Okay.
Just because at times I did find myself getting bored and stuff. But it is a very good commentary on like what it would be like growing old and becoming elderly and how society kind of looks down on elderly people in a way in some cases. It's kind of just a commentary piece on that. And this is it's worth mentioning that this is a George Romero film.
Yeah.
And it's actually 1975 film, but it wasn't released to the public until
2021.
just this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a 2021 film. That's
I guess.
kind of in a way. Sorry, this is messing with me. Anyways, that's 1 sip, so I'll take that to finish off the second drink. So sorry, before you continue on, let me crack another one open. Alright. I guess next on the
If you want to
list.
click on the next movie, which is one that I wanted to see but didn't end up seeing, called My Heart Can't Beat Unless You Tell It To. Tucker's seen this, I have not. So while he pours his drink, I'm going to get right into it here. It is about two mysterious siblings find themselves at odds over care for their frail and sickly younger brother. It's a psychological horror film. Tucker, what did you think?
Yeah, so this movie, I had super high expectations for this, and it may have hindered my ranking in saying that because of that. It was a good movie, I'll give it that, but it wasn't something that I'm going to go back and rewatch, so I'll probably give it a C.
Okay.
And yeah, there's not much else to say about it, honestly. It's worth watching, I'll tell you that much. But it's not something I'm going to go rewatch like some of the other movies that, even on this list already, that I'll rewatch.
Yeah.
But 2 sips for that one.
Okay. Okay. So we are on to movie number 12,
Yep.
which is Don't Breathe 2.
No, I thought it was...
So censor, Don't Breathe 2.
Well, shit, I got censor on the screen, so let's read censor.
Okay, let's do censor first. Censor. After viewing a strangely familiar video nasty, Enid, a film censor, sets out to solve the past mystery about her sister's disappearance, embarking on a quest that dissolves the line between fiction and reality.
You go ahead with censor.
I know Tucker and I talked a little bit first, and Tucker said there's, I think, 2 movies that he has that he wants to put in S tier, or want to put in S tier.
Probably
And
two.
I don't think this is one of them. I think Tucker has this rated fairly well, but I don't think it's S tier for him. This movie, I do have S tier though.
You
Tucker?
do have it as S tier?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I do have it as A tier.
Mhm.
Granted, it's very close to S tier.
Okay.
I have it ranked. It's kind of in the middle. Not gonna lie. And I wouldn't be mad to put it in S tier.
I would like to put it in S tier. I like the movie a lot, but it's between that and a few other movies for my favorite horror movie of 2021.
And if
I do have a favorite horror movie of 2021, but
I do as
we'll
well.
get into that.
We will get
later.
into that.
I think our favorite horror movies of 2021 differ though, but we will see here
Yeah, we'll see.
in a minute.
Not in a minute.
Well, I guess in a
We'll
little
talk
while.
about it at the end. We'll have a little bit of a discussion about our overall rankings and
Yeah.
maybe get into some more movies and stuff, or what we think
Yeah.
about them a little
Alright.
deeper.
Shop time.
Yeah, you're gonna do the root beer schnapps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you want
sure.
to do?
We'll do
If I
root beer
can
schnapps.
open it.
Do you need help?
Nah, surprisingly I'm good. It just took a second of embarrassment.
And if you're watching this back, I hope you're taking a shot too. Or if you're here with us now.
Or if you ranked it A tier, you better be taking 4 sips. At the
Yes.
very least.
Yeah, take 4.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. That was a nice one. I like that. That's good.
Not
Alright,
as bad as far as shots go.
I guess we'll move on to Don't Breathe 2 now. Oh no, I don't want to move on to Don't Breathe 2 yet.
I know exactly why you don't want to move on why you do not want to move on to Don't Breathe 2. I guess we really didn't talk about censor, but either way, I just really like the way that the plot plays out and the whole conversion, kind of where reality meets fantasy, kind of in her mind. Either way, we don't have to touch on it too much. I don't want to spoil a lot about it, but great movie.
And it might be something we look at in the future too. Could be
Yeah.
a fun movie to review. But yeah, Don't Breathe 2. It's
Okay, sorry. Don't Breathe 2. The sequel is set in the years following the initial deadly home invasion, where Norman Nordstrom, Stephen Lang, lives in a quiet solace until his past sins catch up to him. It is also worth saying that we got a majority of these from IMDb, so thank you for the people who decided to create these little synopsises or summaries. Thank you very much, because we're ripping off your content at this point.
it's just the most reliable spot to find
Anyways, I'm pretty sure we have the exact same opinion. This is going to be F tier, and this is why Tucker did not want to move on to this, is because he just poured a fresh drink.
Yeah, I got a very full drink right now, and I wasn't ready for this one. Not gonna lie, but it is what it is. It's random order for this exact reason.
Yeah. Because if we were to place it like from S tier to A tier, like
we could plan out where we were gonna fall and finish our drink, and
yeah.
We would plan for it to finish at, like, if we just had a little bit left, we'd plan for Don't Breathe to come up then. But right now...
Yeah, Tucker's been finishing a little bit quicker than me, and that's his sin.
Alright. On me. It's whatever.
So, bottoms up. So anyways...
Just 1 second.
Yeah. I'm just going to touch on Don't Breathe 2 for just a second here. The reason why I didn't really like it, I understand, like, I kind of get it why people did, but the main thing is, it just has basically two bad characters fighting against each other. So you just, you hate all the protagonists and antagonists besides the little girl. And even the little girl isn't too interesting. She plays a damsel in distress, despite her, like, having this whole backstory of her being, like, trained in survival. So, it all sits very, very poorly with myself.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And there's not a whole lot to say. We did a video on it, so if you want to check that out, to get our in-depth thoughts about it, you can check that out. But I guess for now... I'll move on to a movie that I haven't seen, but you have seen, and...
Named The Unholy.
No, Things Heard and Seen.
What? Okay, we're doing things in a weird order.
We got our order a little bit mixed up. And before we move on, Everything Horror saying, poor Tucker, yes, thank you. Thank you for someone looking out for me.
Well, it's going to be a lot more poor Tucker in a second here, because if I haven't mistaken...
You're joking.
I'm going to make sure here. But I mean, it is F tier. Things Heard and Seen is another F tier movie. No. It was a lot of just like bad relationships. Like I rewatched a little bit of it today just to kind of like get the full gist again, but I was not a fan of this movie.
You fucking kidding me. Oh no.
I'm pretty sure I've helped with all the F tier movies thus far.
Well, so I with
one. But anyways, yeah, Things Heard and Seen. It's been a little while, but like a lot of the characters aren't very likable. Like there's a little boy. I wouldn't even call him the little boy. I think he's like 18 or something like that, and he has a relationship with the mother, which is really fucking weird. Not my favorite movie, needless to say. It's worth skipping. I just poured a drink too, so it sucks to be me as well.
Yeah, great for you. This is literally my fourth.
Yeah.
And it's going down, and we're not even a third of the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a few with this one. I'm getting there.
Me too.
Sorry about the dead air we have to watch us drink, but hopefully you're playing along and drinking too.
So I'm just going to set up our next movie. I'm not finished drinking yet, but I'll let Tucker finish drinking just so you guys don't have to listen to us and watch awkwardly as we swallow our drinks.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the Unholy, which I actually didn't know it's from the producer Sam Raimi, which is neat. I never noticed that actually. So it's a supernatural horror film. A hearing impaired girl is visited by the Virgin Mary and can suddenly hear, speak, and heal the sick. As people flock to witness her miracles, terrifying events unfold. Are they the work of the Virgin Mary or something much more sinister?
So, I will say before you get into your ranking, I haven't seen this, and this is all on Alex to rank. I don't know what you're going to put it as, but I've heard bad things about this, and I swear to God, if this is another F, I might leave. So, Think about
Well, it's your house, so you don't have much else to worry
I'm
about.
leaving the stream, going to the bathroom to throw up.
Okay. So, anyways, The Unholy. I know I had a look. Even on, I know Hector's here from Everything Horror. We've had differing opinions on this on his live stream.
Yeah.
I found this movie alright, so this movie is B tier for me.
B tier.
B tier.
Okay.
It's a great premise. It's executed fine for the most part. It's enjoyable, in my opinion. I like. I forgot the actor's name. He plays the the doctor in Saw. In the first Saw movie, anyways, who's chained up, cuts his foot off in the bathroom.
I don't remember.
Don't
Lawrence
remember.
Gordon, whatever his name is.
Yes. I
Whatever
think it
the
starts with a
actor's
C and an E. Is his initials maybe? I
name is.
don't know.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know. Drinking a little bit too much to pay attention. Anyways, so yeah, The Unholy's all in my opinion. So I am going to move on to the next.
No. I just finished my drink from the last one. And I haven't drank for B tier yet. For the Unholy.
I haven't either, actually. Good call. That is 3 sips.
And is the next one... Okay. I got it.
Sponsored tonight by Uber driver. Don't drink and drive, everybody.
Yeah, definitely do not drink and drive. We do not recommend it.
If you want to drink, be responsible.
Oh, here. Everything Horror Hector. He gave us the answer. Carrie Elway?
I was right about this.
Elwes, yeah.
There we go.
It's Elwes. He corrected himself here. It's Elwes. I don't know how you pronounce it, but
Thank you.
yes, that is the name we were looking for.
Okay, so next on we have a movie that Tucker has seen. I have not seen. From his description, it sounds rather interesting, so I wouldn't be too. I would be very inclined to see it. It is called Gaia.
Yep.
Gaia is a horror thriller an ecological horror thriller
Yep.
about an injured forest ranger on a routine mission is saved by 2 off-the-grid survivalists. What is initially a welcome rescue grows more suspicious as the son and his renegade father reveal cultish devotion to the forest.
Yeah, so this movie, it kind of flew under my radar, I'm not going to lie, throughout the whole year. Until like this month, or not this month, I should say last month, December, I watched it. And I actually had a really good time with this movie. It was like, it was a fun watch. And it was, I told Alex, it's just a trip.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, there is mushrooms involved. And it's just fun. It's fun to watch. Mm-hmm. So, in saying that, it's not quite S tier, but it is A tier.
Okay.
And I strongly recommend watching it. Some people might feel otherwise about it, but I don't know. I thought it was really interesting and fun. So, we gotta take 4 sips. And in saying that, we'll move on to the next one.
Yep. Back to a movie that we have both seen, which is Antlers.
Yeah, just 1 second. The order got all mixed up again.
Oh no.
That's way far down on our list here.
Okay. So let's move on to the movie Antlers.
Yep.
In an isolated Oregon town, a middle school teacher and her sheriff brother become embroiled with her Admanic student whose dark secrets lead to terrifying encounters with an ancestral creature. Thank you for whoever wrote this IMDb, because big words are not the best when you are a little bit intoxicated.
Yeah, I was just going to say you might be having some troubles pretty soon. Might need to take over. Anyways, for Antlers, I thought it's a slow burn, obviously.
Yep.
We made a video about it. You can check that out on our channel here. But for me, I would have to rate it probably... I'd rate it B tier, actually.
I would as well.
All right.
I have my little list here. B tier, slow burn. It really starts off slow, which kind of sucked for me.
Yeah, and
But it had great build up. Like,
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I had like a lot of questions. I'm like, if these questions aren't answered by the end of the movie, it's
Yeah.
gonna suck.
exactly.
But they summed up everything very nicely.
And
So-
like I said in our video, and this was something we kind of disagreed on, but I did enjoy the first part of the movie.
Yeah.
And the main reason, like you mentioned, is because of the build-up. Sorry, I got the hiccups. I'm trying to hold them in, but it is because of the build-up, and they have a good commentary on abuse and all that, which keeps me engaged until when it starts getting a little bit more action involved, I guess. But yeah, it's B tier, so we're taking 3 sips.
Okay. Up next is Army of the Dead.
Army. Jeez.
Okay.
That was a weird lead-in, but Army of the Dead. This is something I haven't seen,
And I have seen it.
I'm gonna let Alex.
As
take it.
record has proven thus far, I've seen some bad F-tier movies this year.
This is not F tier.
Following a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, a group of mercenaries take on the ultimate gamble, venturing into the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted. I was very close to putting this F tier, but it's going to be D tier.
Oh, thank God!
Save
Holy-
Tucker a little bit. I'm doing fine, but beer's a lot harder to swallow, in my opinion.
I mean, I'm doing okay still. I'm not like leaving anytime soon.
Yeah.
But if I had to finish another drink, this one's pretty much it's close to full, and I wouldn't be able to do another one. Well, I mean, I would have to. I do it for you guys. Whoever's watching this, I do it for you.
Anyways, Army of the Dead. I just wasn't engaged with the movie. Zack Snyder has done a lot of great zombie movies. He the one that I feel like he's done the best is Dawn of the Dead, is
The remake.
which is my all-time favorite zombie movie.
Okay.
There were some good parts about it, but for the most part, it just kind of fell flat to me. And like I've seen people that really like the movie, some people that absolutely hated it. Didn't sit right with me, but I don't want to put it in the same category with kind of the other ones that I really disliked.
Yeah.
But I could probably watch it again. The other thing is it drags on way too long. It's like 2.5 hours,
Oh yeah.
which is way too long for a zombie action movie in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Oh yeah. For zombie action for sure. Anyways, moving on to the next one, which it's not a movie per se.
Yeah, so Tucker and I talked about this a little bit, and we wanted to do some things that are horror related. So I guess horror still TV related, which is Squid Game. Squid Game is, I can't find my place here. Squid Game, survival horror drama series. Hundreds of cash-strapped players accept the invitation to compete in a children's game. I guess children's games. Inside, tempting prizes await with deadly stakes. A survival game that has a whopping 45.6 billion won cash prize at stake. So I think that it's about 30 million American, I think, give or take. So a lot of money. Anyways,
For this movie, for this series, I will admit, despite how much hype has gone on so far, I haven't finished it. So
have you watched it?
I have watched some of it.
Okay.
But I'm gonna let you
Okay.
give it the ranking because I haven't seen the whole series. I feel like I don't have a fair assessment on the whole thing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let you do
Out of curiosity, what do you think thus far? Like, if you were to give it a rank.
a rank this so far of what I've seen. I think I would put it in A tier.
Okay, that's exactly where I have it.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like it's, I wouldn't say overrated. A lot of people have watched it, and
It's
a lot
been
of people
hyped up.
like it. And I can see why people like it a lot. It's like one of those obvious, how do you describe it? Like, kind of like survive horror series, but like, I honestly really enjoyed
I think
it.
it's done well.
It has a lot of characters that you really fall in love with, a lot of characters that are memorable, a lot of characters you want to see succeed, fail. It's really well done. They have a great, likable cast, even especially for being in Korean, which honestly I watch it with dubs, but
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a very good movie. It's a very good series still. It's super enjoyable. I'd recommend it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you are turned off because people recommend things like, oh, everybody will watch Bird Box. No, watch Squid Game instead.
Yeah, this is better than Bird Box.
Yeah, we're going to be getting into another TV series. I think we only have 2 on here.
We do have only 2 TV series, but we wanted to include them because it is horror related.
Yeah.
But for now, we're moving on to Psycho Goreman.
Mm-hmm. I guess 4 sips.
Oh yeah, sorry. Good catch for Squid Game.
All right. Psycho Goreman is a science, fantasy, action, horror comedy.
There's a lot of genres combined into one.
After unearthing a gem that controls an evil monster looking to destroy the universe, a young girl and her brother use it to make him do their bidding.
Yeah. So, I don't think this is one you have seen.
I have not seen Psycho Goreman.
So, I guess it's on me.
Yeah.
It's a fun watch. There's some comedy involved with it too.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't include it in the genre that we described, but it's definitely worth watching at least once. But it's not a super solid movie by any means. Don't want to highlight all that. It's not a super solid movie or anything, but it is enjoyable. And in saying that, I would rate it C tier.
Okay.
Actually, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to change that. It's going to be B tier.
Okay.
Just crosses the threshold into B tier. And I'm saying that because it just hit 70% for me. 7 out of 10 is what I ranked it.
Yeah.
So it just barely ranked into B. But there's not much else to say about it. It's a fun watch.
3
sips. And everything horror left in the comment here. I know what the other show is. You probably
do, yes.
I can't remember if we talked about it on his live stream or not, but
we might have.
I'm sure you know.
Might have. I think there's a very good chance.
Anyways, moving on.
Continuing is a movie that I have not seen again called Come True, a science fiction horror.
Come True. This is one that obviously I saw it if Alex didn't.
Yes. A teenage runaway takes part in a sleep study that becomes a nightmarish descent into the depths of her mind and frightening examination of power of dreams.
Yeah. And this movie for me, I really enjoyed it. It was a super fun movie to watch. It was very interesting. It was kind of a slow burn. In some regards, it was kind of slow burn. But it was just so interesting the way, especially if you've ever, looked into or researched or even experienced, I guess, sleep paralysis or just crazy dreams in general. This is a fun and interesting look on that. It's a fun take on that. And just the way that it ends and everything, I thought it was super well done. Not quite S tier, but it does make it into A tier. So, definitely a strong recommendation from me. And, yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it, check it out. But that's 4 sips for us again.
4 sips, everybody. Alright.
And one sec, we got another comment here from Everything Horror. Cheers to Everything Horror. He's a great guy. He's supported us a lot. Anyways, he says, I'm super mixed on Come True. I'd give it a C. That's fair. And I do agree that it isn't for everybody. But you're pouring a shot. I know what's coming up next.
Something's coming up next.
Anyways, I get that outlook. For me, it was just very interesting to see the way that they portrayed the dreams and how they portrayed the sleep paralysis and everything, and it was very interesting for me. Obviously, people's opinions do differ, person to person. Everyone has a different opinion, but C, it's still for the C movies we have so far, I would still recommend watching them. So even if you rank it a C, go and watch it.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a few, I'm pretty sure S tier movies coming up. Starting with Malignant.
Malignant. Okay.
Malignant.
1 second, sorry.
Mouse isn't working. Oh, there we go.
There we
Okay,
go.
we're good.
Yeah, this order got real random all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Okay, Malignant.
Perfect.
Well, yeah, you already said it. It's for both
I'm
of
pretty
us,
sure it's
S
S
tier.
tier. Yeah.
Go ahead with the synopsis, I guess.
Oh yeah, I guess. Paralyzed by fear from shocking visions, a woman's torment worsens as she discovers her waking dreams are terrifying realities. It's funner having one person to do all this because you can see kind of their descent into slurring a lot more as they continue to drink a little bit further. Yeah, S tier for me, S tier for you, I'd imagine.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's S tier for me. This is one of my favorite movies of 2021, and another thing I just really love about it is how divisive it's been. So many people, they either love it or hate it, I swear.
Mm.
And yeah, for us,
I loved it.
S tier. We both loved it, so cheers to that,
Cheers.
I guess. We can't really clink. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm glad it wasn't F.
No.
Some people would have ranked it F, I'm sure.
Oh, probably. I mean, at that point, if one of us did F, it would probably be like C or B. All right. So next up is Last Night in Soho. I finally watched this, and we watched it after getting a recommendation, actually, from
Everything Horror.
From Everything Horror.
And I'm glad you recommended it.
Yeah. It's a very good movie.
Oh, yeah.
As you'll see how I rank it in a second here, an aspiring fashion designer is mysteriously able to enter the 1960s, where she encounters a dazzling wannabe singer. However, the glamour is not all it appears to be, and the dreams of the past start to crack and splinter into something far darker.
Yeah. So, you seem to think that you knew what my two S tier were.
Yeah, I want to say this and Malignant.
Yeah, this was the other one. And I'm not sure where you rank it, but obviously mine's S.
Yeah, it's S tier.
Yeah, okay. And I'll say it now, but I think this is my favorite movie of 2021.
I'm going to say that too. I thought yours was going to be Malignant, actually. But
okay.
Yeah, no, this movie has everything going right for me.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, for example, obviously, everything from just, the wardrobe to the set design to the soundtrack. We're going downtown in an earlier round.
That was not the soundtrack.
And Sugar, we ain't going down.
That's
town.
a completely different song.
It has... I forgot the singer. Either way.
Anya Taylor-Joy, I think, sings.
Yeah, if she sings Fall Out Boy songs, it's going to be A tier.
Anyways, sings this song. Anyways, it's S tier.
S tier, great movie.
And shout out to Everything Horror. He was the one who strongly recommended it to us, and I'm glad he did.
Either way. Very great movie. I guess mine and Tucker's #1 movie of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on to a movie that I have not seen called Superhost.
Superhost, okay.
Which is a mystery horror.
Yeah.
It is with the following count dwindling. Travel vloggers Teddy and Claire pivot to creating viral content around their most recent superhost, Rebecca, who wants to be more from the duo than a great review.
Yeah, so before we continue on with this, I just want to bring up Everything Horror. He commented again. We all agree, you guys, this movie is amazing. Yeah, and he's talking about Last Night in Soho.
Yeah.
He says, my favorite horror of the year. Yeah, we all agree.
Yeah.
We do agree on some things, hey? And then he left another comment.
That is somebody else.
Sorry, somebody else. Horror experience with Lily. Candyman should be below the bottom. What crap that was.
We might have different opinions on Candyman for sure.
We haven't gotten to Candyman yet.
Candyman will be up here in a little bit. Stick around to see what we say about Candyman.
And I do think that was...
Candyman is also a very diverse movie. There's a lot of mixed people. Or I guess a lot of mixed reactions from this movie.
Yeah, but anyways, we'll go on to Superhost. And like Alex said, this is a movie he hasn't seen, but I have seen. I thought it was a fun movie to watch, and it wasn't top of the list by any means, not even close. But I do want to give it C tier because it was fun. It was engaging the whole time, but it wasn't like it's been done before, I guess, is what I'll say. So it wasn't an original idea or anything, and yeah, C tier it is.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 sips, I'll take those.
Took my sips. I'm just gonna find the next movie here quick.
Next movie,
It's Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea what happened in our thing here, but it decided to randomly choose its own order. So, like I said in the top of this video, bear with us. This is our first time doing it. Plus, we're drinking.
Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. Halloween Kills, the saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode continues in this next thrilling chapter of the Halloween series. Alright, so hopefully Laurie Strode doesn't die for the 3rd time in this franchise. At least she didn't in this one, spoilers. For this movie, I had it in D tier.
D tier?
D tier.
Yep, me too.
You did too.
I did.
I'm kind of surprised that we both have the movie in D tier.
I know, like this is kind of another one. A lot of people, they seem to really like it, but for me, if it wasn't for the mob scene, I probably would have put it at least C.
Yeah, like there's a lot of things that the movie did great, but at the same time, it did a lot of things just so poorly, without just explaining anything.
Well, the whole mob thing was the problem for me. Like the kills were the best part of the movie. The movie.
Hey Zach.
Hey Zach. Sorry, we have some interruptions. It's okay though. This is a live stream. It's shit happens.
Anyways, continuing.
We gotta take a sip for Halloween Kills.
1, yes. So the best thing about Halloween Kills is the flashback scenes with Dr. Loomis. By far my favorite part of the movie.
That's your favorite part? My favorite part is the kills.
Mm-hmm.
And we made a whole video about Halloween Kills. In fact, we did the whole Halloween franchise up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we're going to do a video for Halloween Ends when it comes out. But, yeah, it's a D tier. I have nothing else to say.
I'd probably rank it a lot lower, honestly, because I think in our rankings list, I ranked it like 6th maybe. Honestly, the more...
Oh, from the Halloween franchise, yeah.
The more that it sits with you, the more it fell, in my opinion. It would probably be a little bit lower, not like Halloween 2 Rob Zombie low, but it would probably be a little bit lower.
However, anyways, before you continue, we've got another comment here from Horror Experience with Lily. She says, "Did evil die tonight? LOL." And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish evil did die tonight
because the movie dragged on for too long.
And I'm done with the Halloween franchise. Like, they have some really solid movies. Obviously, the first Halloween is it's top tier, S tier horror movie.
Yeah.
But,
like, honestly, if the 2018, was it? The 2018 Halloween movie was on here, it'd probably be S tier, honestly.
Yeah.
It'd be S or A tier easily.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. Obviously, this movie did not hit the same marks as that one. So, let's move on.
Yeah,
Halloween Kills.
The next one.
After Halloween Kills, we have one more movie named Escape Room 2.
Oh, we have more than one more movie. We still have more than, I think about 10 to get to.
Yeah, we have at least 10 more. Anyways.
Escape Room Tournament of Champions.
6 people unwillingly find themselves locked in another series of escape rooms, slowly uncovering what they have in common to survive. Joining forces with the original survivors, they soon discover they have all played the game before.
So I'll start this off by saying we are basing our judgment off of the theatrical release. There's a producer's cut or director's cut or whatever that we haven't watched, or at least I haven't watched. Yeah. And so we have no opinion about that. And my opinion about this movie, I wish it wasn't, but for me it's an F.
For me, it was on the very cusp of D and F tier. The very cusp.
Okay, so you had it what?
So I had D tier, and the more that in my notes that I had, rambling on about the the bad points about the movie, I was like, okay, it's an F tier.
Yeah.
So I'm completely fine. I mean, we don't have much in our drink, so it's an F tier movie. So I feel like this is, in my opinion, the only F tier movie that's worth watching, just because of how interesting the rooms were.
Okay, I'll give you that.
And that's So that's the only reason that is, I feel like, in my opinion, the only F tier movie worth watching.
But in saying that,
I don't recommend it really.
yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
it'd be a decent movie to watch, like maybe back to back with the other one. But like honestly, the other one is like still pretty good.
But the fact is, it ends in a way.
It ends in a way where you could
The
have
first one ended.
It ends in the exact same way the first one ended, so you could have just had the entire movie null and void, which is such a slap in the face to the audience. Anyways, finish our drinks.
Yeah, we'll finish our drink. Give us a minute. You didn't have much left, but I think I had half a beer at least.
Oh my god.
Because we're on different levels right now. We did get another comment, but I think it's a bot, so I'm not even gonna read it.
I can't pronounce names. I'm not that drunk yet, but I think that's a bot too.
You didn't provide anything productive, so we're gonna move on to the next one, which is
Oh, sorry. A Quiet Place 2.
Quiet Place 2. We're moving way down.
Following the events at home, the Abbott family now faces the terrors of the outside world. Forced to venture into the unknown, they realize the creatures that hunt by sound are not the only threats lurking beyond the sandpath.
So, what was your thoughts about this movie?
The Quiet Place 2, there we go. There was a lot of differing opinions online, and honestly, I feel like it wasn't necessary, and it did not hit the same points as the first one.
This one didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Saying that, I feel like this movie is a C tier.
Okay. We're relatively close. I did enjoy it, and I thought it was a good idea to put more focus on. I don't even remember the character's name or the actress's name, but I'm circling her face right now. On putting more focus on her and giving her more backstory and just giving her kind of the lead role.
Yeah.
I did really enjoy that fact, and for me it was a B tier.
Okay.
So B or C, we kind of got to debate over.
Like
I will say,
it's kind of in the middle for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If it's in the middle, should we just call it B tier then?
I'm kind of calling it B tier.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a bad movie by any means.
It's an enjoyable movie. The reason
I call it better than Jacob's Wife. So in saying that, I call it B tier.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. I do think it's better than. Actually, I think it's better than every movie that's in C tier right now. So
yeah, definitely. That's a good way of looking at it.
So Quiet Place Part 2, B tier, which is 3 sips. And it just barely made the B tier for me as well, I will say.
Okay.
It was a 7 out of 10. So 70%.
Alright.
Wait. Everything Horror commented again. It was a solid sequel. The ending just left a sour taste in my mouth. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
The ending was kind of... Yeah.
There's a lot of stupid decisions in the movie, too. Like, the little boy... I'm blanking on everyone's name besides Emmett.
I know, right?
But yeah, the little boy... The stupid decision to, like, close the vault door with a baby. I don't know. I can't really remember the movie too clearly, but I remember it had a bad...
There was a lot of decisions.
Yeah.
We didn't actually do Eddie Darwin Awards because it is a 2021 award.
Yeah, but he would have won it.
He would have
Full
won.
disclosure.
Yeah. But, yeah, we did a video on that as well, so you should check that out if you haven't yet. But, yeah, I agree, it was a solid sequel. It wasn't as good as the first one. I'll agree with that, 100%. But it did provide some... It was solid for a sequel.
Yeah. It's in B for B-quels, not C for sequels, but we're fine with it. It's a good movie. Recommend it. I don't
It's
know if
worth
I'd
watching. I wouldn't go back and watch it again.
I'd say it's definitely worth watching if you've seen the first one, of course.
I
I'm not sure if I'd go back and watch it. I mean, I'd let it stand the test of time first, but good movie altogether. Next, we have Boy Behind the Doors, a movie that I have not watched.
This is a movie I've seen.
All right, after Bobby and his friend Kevin are kidnapped and taken to a strange house in the middle of nowhere, Bobby manages to escape.
Yeah, so this one was different. It was interesting to watch, and it has the same actor. I'll say he's a child actor. I'm actually not sure how old he is, but he was an actor in The Djinn as well, which is exactly where this falls for me as well. The Boy Behind the Door, it's a D tier.
Okay.
It was fine to watch, but take it or leave it, you know?
I was scared for half a second there, considering I thought you'd put it in F tier, to be honest, and
No.
I don't know why.
No, it was not an F tier.
Okay.
Like, it didn't fail. I feel like if a movie at least provides some entertainment in some way, it deserves D tier.
Yeah. Okay.
But just don't move on yet. I gotta take my sip.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Boy Behind the Door. After Boy Behind the Door, we have Spiral from the Book of Saw.
Spiral. This is another one that it seemed like a lot of people either didn't like or they did like. Like, it was another kind of tear between the horror community.
Okay, so Spiral, definitely something new with the Saw franchise. I'll say that. I feel like all the Saw franchise doesn't matter which movie, they're all very worth watching, in my opinion, anyways. I like all the movies. All the movies are at least fun to watch, even if they're like D tier, F tier movies. I'd still go back and watch them.
Yeah.
In saying that, I had this B tier.
B
tier.
I had it. Yeah. Just barely made B tier.
I actually have in my notes B tier, but for just barely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's on the cusp of B tier, almost C tier.
Yeah, exactly. I had it 7 out of 10, so it just barely made it.
Yeah.
But it was B tier for both of us, so that does result in
2 sips.
No, 3 sips.
3 sips. Oh, I'm not reading.
And we have another comment here from everything. Well, we have a couple. Everything Horror. Yep, this was the year for divisive film. You're absolutely right. There's so many movies this year that it seemed like everyone either really liked them or really hated them. And you say, next comment, especially in horror, like, I'm full disclosure, I don't really follow any other genres, so I don't know how other movies did in other genres, but I know for sure, like you said, in the horror genre, it was very divisive year. But, I'll take my 3 sips and we'll move on.
All right, if you want to take your 3 sips, we can move on to the next movie, which is The Medium.
The Medium. Okay.
The Medium is a Thai mockumentary supernatural horror.
And this is a movie that I have seen that I'm pretty sure you didn't see.
I have not seen The Medium.
It was a pretty
obscure
movie. Nobody really talked about it. I haven't heard a lot about it.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard about it
I'm
either.
pretty sure it was on Shudder is where I watched it. But yeah, carry on with the synopsis, I guess. Sorry.
It is a horrifying story of a shaman's inheritance in the Eslan region of Thailand. What could be possessing a family member might not be the goddess they make it out to be.
Yeah, so this movie was a lot of fun to watch. Like, it was super interesting. It does come across like it is a documentary. Like you said, it's a mockumentary.
Yeah.
It's not a real documentary. None of this actually happened. But it's basically the Thai's version of an exorcism movie.
Okay.
And it was super cool to see. And I actually really liked it. It wasn't top tier or anything, but it was B tier.
Okay.
I would have to say. And so yeah, we'll rank it B tier, and it is 3 sips. So far, B tier is the one in the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Followed closely by D tier. And
Not
before
have a lot of things in Z tier. Continue.
before we continue, I got a couple comments to address here. But Everything Horror says, dude, I really loved The Medium. It's in my top 15. I gotta agree. It was in my top 15 as well. Didn't quite make the top 10, I'll admit it. But still, B tier is super solid rating. And yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it too. And we got a comment here from Snooplex, and we did a video with him. We did the Shining video, and shout out to Snooplex. He was a lot of fun to work with.
Snooplex is a great guy.
Definitely recommend checking out his channels.
He has different content and 64 things if you're interested in that. He's also a wicked chess player.
True. But he says, hey guys, hope all is well. The list looks great so far. I like how you include Squid Game. Yeah, thanks. We did decide to include TV series that we watched because it's been talked about so much, so we felt like we had to include it.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming through and saying hello.
Alrighty, let's move on to. So we talked about The Medium. Next up,
Just wait. Gotta take our 3 sips.
I'm not sure if I did. Oh, will again.
I got mine down now.
Okay. So next up, we have the movie Old.
Yes, it's an old movie.
It's actually a new movie.
Okay.
That I watched. I think it was like 2 days ago.
I think you watched it.
No,
yesterday.
I watched it yesterday actually.
And this is not
for this.
This is not a movie that I have seen, so it's all on Alex.
Yeah. So the events of Old unfold as a vacationing family finds their tropical holiday is no longer the idealistic getaway they envisioned. Instead, they find themselves on a beach that is imbued, I don't know, can't read now, with something that causes occupants to rapidly age. Anyways, Old.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so
I'm just taking a quick peek at my notes.
Anyways,
okay, so this movie is D tier.
D tier, okay.
D tier.
I'm glad it wasn't F.
No, I don't think I would have put it in F. The movie has a very interesting premise. The first, I think, 20 minutes is really captivating. It really kept me into the film.
Okay.
And it has some very neat concepts, but a lot of those concepts fall so flat, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The execution's kind of bad. Not much has really developed from there. A lot of the time I felt like I was very disinterested in the film. I'll also say that M. Night Shyamalan probably made a lot of money just because of how cheap it's probably to film on just a resort on a beach. He gets to go on vacation. He's in the fucking film.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So, yeah,
D tier. Honestly,
just one sip.
Like, if somebody argued B tier, I'd argue C tier easily. Yep.
If someone said B tier, you'd put it in C?
I'd put it in C.
So you're divided between C and D?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, it's D, so just one sip.
Like, I'd say, like, it's 5.8, 5.9.
Okay.
Anyways.
Note, before you continue. Snoop Black says, thanks for the kind words. Of course, you deserve nothing but the kindest words. And Everything Horror, LOL, Alex took 6 sips. You took 6 sips.
Sometimes you gotta remember, and if you don't remember, it's on you.
Yeah.
And it's on me this time. Alright, next up we have a supernatural slasher movie, which is Candyman.
Candyman, and this is horror experience with Lily. She was talking about Candyman. We finally reached it.
Okay, a sequel to the horror film Candyman from 1992 that returns to the now gentrified Chicago neighborhood where the legend began.
Gentrified.
Gentrified?
Anyways, this is where we kind of disagree with you, Lily. And for me personally, I would have to put it in A tier.
I'm pretty sure I have it in A tier. I could probably go off my own memory, but
I think
honestly, I'm completely content putting it in A tier.
Yeah, so because
A tier.
Because it's, if you look at Candyman 2 compared to this, this is so much better. And I know there is a lot of social commentary about like the gentrification, like we said in the synopsis. but it's not like shoving it down your throat, and
It does at times, but not in like an obscene amount.
yeah, and
The first Candyman did it so well, like nothing in comparison to this one.
Well, yeah, the first Candyman is better than this one without a doubt.
Yeah.
But this is still a very solid sequel in at least my opinion.
Yeah, I like how it's very good that it has especially these African American problems actually talked about within the African American community. It's not these white actors portraying it.
Yeah, like in the first one, it was a white director, white female lead, and everything,
exactly.
And they're kind of talking about African American issues, which was frowned upon in some regards.
It's great that they had Tony Todd, and that's the other thing. If Tony Todd was in the movie the entire time, it probably would have been S tier.
Well, yeah, and I think that's a lot of the problem that a lot of people have is Tony Todd only showed up for the last maybe 3 to 5 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
And that's what some people kind of have an issue with because obviously Tony Todd, the original Candyman, did the best job as Candyman. And this one, you didn't really get to see him as Candyman, honestly. They just included him in the end for fan service.
Yeah.
But I do think it was still a very solid film. And we did a whole episode on it. This is another one we reviewed for 2021. And we recommend that you go and watch that episode to see what our full thoughts are on it.
All right, before we get into our last few movies here,
we got to take 4 sips.
I was going to say washroom break, but yes. Okay.
You got to go do a washroom break?
I have to do a washroom break. How about you?
I don't need to, but I'll let you go.
Okay.
Okay, we will be right back in less than 2 minutes, so stick around. Don't leave us. We're coming back, I promise.
Okay.
Alright, we're back.
We are back.
Sorry to keep you guys waiting if you were watching. We just had to piss. In full honesty.
Okay. Coming down to the last few here. Right down to the wire, we have our 33rd movie of the evening, which is Lamb.
Lamb, okay.
There.
Right there.
Okay. Lamb is a childless couple, Maria and Ingvar, discover a mysterious newborn on their farm in Iceland. The unexpected prospect of family brings them much joy before ultimately destroying them. So how are we going to discuss Lamb here?
Lamb is such a hard movie to rank, I'm not going to lie. Before we get into the ranking, though, I want to give another shout out to Snooplax. He says, "You guys are worth the wait." Thank you, Snooplax. You're the man.
Thank you very kindly, my friend.
We've personally, I've gone through six drinks already, so I had to let the bladder loose, you know.
My stomach's just bloated. I feel like I'm not that intoxicated, but my stomach's hurting from all the liquid that's just congested up.
It's a lot more than we expected. Than I expected.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Anyways, for Lamb, for my ranking, I ranked it a C.
I ranked it A tier.
You ranked it A tier?
I ranked it A tier. I thought it was a very neat film.
I won't disagree. It is a neat film, but it's not quite what I was expecting. It was a very good... It was a very artistic film.
Yeah.
100% artistic film. And... yeah, I don't know. Like, it was just very slow. And the reason I would have ranked it... I probably would have ranked it B tier if it wasn't for the reveal of, you know, how the lamb was born. I didn't
that
like
made it so fucked up, and I love it.
I love fucked up, but I didn't like that reveal, and I don't know. I would have rather had seen the mother or father be the reason that this creature was born. We won't get into any details. I will say that I would make a full-on review and episode about this movie.
Yeah.
Because it'd be fun to review in that regard. But, yeah, I don't know. It was just, for me, it was a little bit too slow. But you ranked it A?
A tier.
I ranked it C, so we'll put it in B.
Yeah.
You're good with that compromise? That's 3 sips. And we got another comment from Snooplax. Everything Hector and Snooplax. These guys are great. They're coming through and they're commenting on our first live stream. Shout out to you guys. But Snooplax, he says, 6 drinks. Wow. I just grabbed one because I wanted to watch this properly.
Perfect.
Yeah,
looks like you're taking 3 drinks with us, Snooplax.
Thanks for playing along. Cheers to you.
Okay, Resident Evil. Zombie action horror. Set in 1998, this is the origin story that explores the secrets of the mysterious Spencer Mansion and the ill-fated Raccoon City.
Yeah. So, what's your thoughts about this? You have more to say about this movie because you played at least some of the video games. I know you were really into 4. Was it 4?
Yeah.
You're really into 4. This movie is supposed to be more of a commentary about 1 and 2 video game, but
yeah.
What was your thoughts?
I mean, the second video game is so very great, especially if you play the remakes. It's really well done. This is a B tier movie for me, though.
B tier?
B tier.
For me, yeah, and I'll preface this by saying I have never played a single Resident Evil game, so it took a lot out of the movie for me. I ranked it D tier.
Okay. Easy C tier then.
So it is a C tier, yes. Sorry, 1 second. I got another comment here from Canadian Crypt. He says, "Hey guys, how's it going? It's going good. We've had
a lot of drinks.
More to drink than we expected. Thanks for tuning in. And honestly, for me, I just discovered Canadian Crypt's channel because of Art with Horror's nominations, and you do a really good job of making videos, and you are honestly the person we did put our vote in for. So thank you for making content. It's just making the horror community stronger in the end, honestly. But anyways, Raccoon City. Welcome to Raccoon City. We agreed it's C tier.
Yeah, 2 sips.
2 sips, yeah. I feel like you get more out of it if you are a fan of the video games.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, I haven't played them, so I haven't been able to get that experience, I guess. So, yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Okay. After that, we have The Conjuring 3.
Conjuring 3.
Set in 1999. Oh, no, that's still Resident Evil. Okay. The Warrens investigate a murder that may be linked to a demonic possession. That sounds familiar.
Well, it sounds like a lot of Conjuring movies, but this one was different. It was different than the other 2 Conjuring movies. I'll give it that. It was decently entertaining because they did look more into the Warrens. Like, the Warrens weren't there just to perform the exorcism or, whatever. Yeah. They weren't just there to solve the problem. They were the actual people to go through the problem. So it did bump it up a little bit for me in that regard. I do agree it was a little... I don't know what your ranking is, actually. I shouldn't agree to anything. But for me, it was a C tier.
Okay, I thought you were going to say A.
No.
I guess you do agree with me then, because it is a C tier movie for me as well.
Yeah. And, it wasn't a bad movie by any means. It was mostly because they did... I appreciated the fact that they did something different. And they didn't go with the same old formula. It wasn't James Wan at the helmet this time around. It was...
the guy who directed
Michael Chavez.
Michael Chavez.
Was it Michael Chavez?
That sounds about right.
That sounds about right. It was definitely Chavez.
Yeah.
Anyways, he did do something new. You could tell there was still James Wan influences, but it wasn't the same as the 2 other Conjuring movies in the sense that it was, just another haunted house movie.
Yeah.
And we did a full video on this one as well, so we do a much deeper explanation, I guess, without spoiling anything. We didn't try to spoil anything in that video either. And yeah, I guess we both agree it is C tier, so
yeah.
2 sips.
Did I take my 2? I don't even know.
I honestly don't know. I don't pay attention to how much you drink. I think that everything horror pays attention to how much you drink, though, so you might point it out.
Okay. Last 3 movies. So, starting with a classic horror movie.
A classic horror story.
There we go.
Yeah.
An Italian horror movie about 5 carpoolers in a motorhome that want to reach a common destination. The road they are traveling has disappeared and there is only a dense, impenetrable forest and a wooden house in the middle clearing, which they discover is the home of a spine-chilling cult.
Spine-chilling cult.
I almost said spy-chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a movie you haven't seen, right?
I have seen it.
Oh, you have seen it?
I have seen it.
Okay, before we get into our thoughts, I do want to shout out Everything Horror again. He left a couple comments. Says, "What's up, Canadian Crypt? Gotta check out your channel for Horror Tuber of the Month." You definitely should check out Canadian Crypt. Also, you should just check out Art with Horror. He won Horror Tuber of the Month for, was it December? For December. He won for December. And he nominated 4 other horror YouTubers this month for January, and they're all really solid YouTubers. You should check them out. Canadian Crypt was one of them, and he commented here, check him out. Anyways, Everything Horror. No. He left another comment.
Oh, he did. Okay.
He says, "Yeah, Alex is feeling it, huh?" I guess
a little bit. Oh God, yeah.
You're slipping when you're reading the the synopsis, but that's okay. We got another comment. King Need Gore. Shout out to King. You're effed up November, even though it happened in December. I know Your Effed Up December series was awesome. I loved watching it. You reviewed some great movies. Great movies. They're really messed up, but he says a classic horror story was meh. Hey, we'll get into what we thought about it.
I thought it was kind of meh too.
Yeah.
But in the fact that I found it C tier, but barely is a C tier movie.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I think too. I
Okay.
think it was C tier. I rated it 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
And that's probably about what King Needs Gore ranks it, maybe. So that's just a single sip. Hey, I won't complain.
Mm-hmm. Alright, there's going to be more alcohol coming our way soon. Last two movies.
Just wait
Mhm.
before we get in. Snoop Black's left another comment. He says, live streams are hard. You guys are doing fantastic for your first one. Hey, thanks, man. We tried our best to get prepared for it. Obviously, there's some stuff that pops up that, we aren't prepared for,
Mhm.
but, we're doing what we can. So thank you. And we got another comment here from Canadian Crypt. I'll be honest. I kind of slacked on the new releases this year, but I'm sipping an old-fashioned and enjoying the show. Thanks,
Take
man.
small sips then.
Yeah, no, thanks for tuning in, and honestly, it's a pleasure for you to be here. We enjoy everyone watching us. But I kind of felt the same way. I didn't see a whole lot of new releases this year until December. December, I kind of,
December,
hunkered
we
down.
really wanted to do this, so we sat down and watched a
We
lot.
watched a lot of movies in December that was released in 2021, so that's kind of the way. That's kind of the way we, prepared for it.
Yeah. Alrighty. Second last movie of the night is The Night House. Tucker, we watched The Night House together. What did you think of The Night House?
The Night House. So,
We had mixed reviews of this.
did we?
Well, we heard mixed reviews of this. Sorry.
Yeah. We heard mixed reviews.
Everything Horror said that we should check it out when we had another recommendation for another friend saying that he didn't like it too much. But obviously from that, we decided to check it out. And Tucker?
I really liked it. Wasn't quite S tier, but for me it was an A tier movie.
I don't even have to look. I know it was an A tier for me. Very good movie. It was a little bit of a trip. It's A tier.
Yeah, A tier.
Yeah, it was very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I definitely recommend watching it for sure. I'd watch it again, definitely.
Oh yeah.
I love the slow burn reveal. Like, it seems like in every scene there's something new that you can take home and just kind of think about. That'll come in handy, like, kind of the rest of the movie. Great movie, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Very fantastic. Thanks for the recommendation.
Yeah, Everything Horror. Shout out to him again. He said this was one of the best movies he saw this year, which made us go out and watch it.
Yeah.
And so we did. We watched it together, and we both really enjoyed it. It was, like Alex said, it was a trip. And yeah, I don't know. It's just a good movie. We do recommend it. But we got a few comments coming in.
Saying your voice is double feeding.
Yeah, but it said it's fixed. It's okay. King Need Gore. I just saw Censor and Titan last weekend. Definitely the better releases of last year. Actually, in terms of Titan, I personally haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it.
It's been on my list to watch because I've heard very good things about it. And, it is on my list still, but I just never got around to watching it this year. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, it won't be on this list. It won't be on the tier list ranking, but yeah.
All right. We are on...
Sorry, King Gore, he just commented again, is Titan on this list?
Yeah. It is not, unfortunately.
Sorry, unfortunately it's not. We never got around to watching it.
There's a few things that aren't on the list. Like, I'm not sure if Caveat and Saint Maud are 2021 releases. It was very close, so we just decided they were 2020 releases. Since they were released other places.
There is a lot of... Sorry, there is a lot of movies that were kind of released in 2020 or 2019,
Yeah.
whether it be through festivals or whatever.
Yeah.
But they didn't get their official theatrical release until 2021. But for Titan, we never got to doing it. We never watched it yet. And King Needs Gore. He says, "No, y'all have to watch it, bro. It's gonna blow your mind holes."
I would love to watch
We're
it.
gonna check it out. Honestly, I take your suggestions to heart, and I will. I'm gonna check out Titan. It was honestly one that I didn't quite squeeze in, but it just barely missed the cut.
Yeah. However, I'm just going to talk about a few things real quick. It was Caveat I've seen. Caveat's pretty good. I'd probably put it in A tier.
Speaking of Caveat, I watched Caveat last weekend. Awesome flick from Canadian Crypt.
Yeah, really good.
I watched it too.
Last weekend?
Like a week and a half ago.
Okay, so last weekend.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
It was in the middle of the week. But I also watched Caveat, and I guess Alex did too.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very good too.
Yeah.
But everywhere I looked said it was a 2020 release.
Yeah.
So I didn't think that we should include it in this.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know.
And same with St. Maud. St. Maud, a lot of places 2020 or 2021, so I thought it was 2020. But St. Maud, a lot of people loved.
Oh yeah.
And really fucking liked. And I thought it was B tier. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, especially with the way a lot of people hyped it up. I thought it was B tier.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways,
we're moving on to one last
comment before we go on. He's referring to Titan. He says, "It flew under my radar. No worries." That's from King Needgore. Yeah, it kind of flew under my radar too until the last couple months of the year. But again, I just didn't get to it. But we'll move on to our next
very last. I wouldn't even call it a movie because it's a TV series. The only other TV series we have is Midnight Mass.
Yep. And
which Tucker has not watched.
I haven't seen, no.
And I have watched. And I know I put a lot of things in F tier, but this is going to be the opposite. Midnight Mass is an S tier.
Okay.
S tier supernatural horror TV series. An isolated island community experiences miraculous events and frightening omens after the arrival of a charismatic, mysterious young priest. Very good from Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan's been killing it. If you were to watch any horror directors, it'd be James Wan and Mike Flanagan. My favorite of the 2010s by far. Very, very good young creators. I love almost everything they put out.
Yeah. I do agree that Mike Flanagan has put out a ton of great content. A lot of great stuff.
Oh my god, his character development to this is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people love this
a
lot. I honestly still think Haunting of Hill House is better, but oh my god, this is really good still.
Yeah. I never got around to watching it yet, and I want to. I want to see it again. It's on my list. But we do have a couple comments before we get to taking our shot.
Okay.
Sublast says,
Squid
"What
Game.
about Squid Game?" We did talk about Squid Game.
Is right. You want to point to it quick, Tucker? It's an A tier.
It's an A tier. Yeah. Squid Game.
This
we
is
did
my
rank.
second time around watching Squid Game. Actually, Squid Game is very competent.
Yeah.
A lot of people there was a lot of hype with other horror movie content such as Bird Box. I think we were mentioning before how people say, "Oh, watch Bird Box, it's the new thing on Netflix," and it sucks and you shouldn't watch Bird Box.
Yeah, no.
But that was in 2019, 2018.
I think it's 2018.
But Squid Game is phenomenal, and it was kind of the same with Haunting of Hill House, even though I find Haunting of Hill House a lot better. But Squid Game is still, I really like Squid Game.
Oh yeah.
They had great character development. You fell in love with the characters, and right when you fell in love with them, they fucking tore them from the story, and your heart was broken, and you loved to hate the characters or loved to love the characters. Oh my god!
And typically we don't actually look at TV series on our channel.
We
but
can't look at TV series.
It's just a
Imagine
lot.
drinking for like 6 hours on a binge fest. We can't do it.
Yeah, it's just
especially
hard.
especially with things like Squid Game, where people die every like 10 seconds
God.
in like some parts.
Even the very first episode, like there's hundreds of people.
I mean, we have our mercy rule, which is
Yeah.
5 per scene max, which would help a little bit, but still.
Yeah, no, it's.
Squid Game's a very good TV show, though. I definitely recommend it.
Anyways.
Like, again, like I was saying, a lot of these things, I'd say from B tier, B tier, I'd probably watch them a second time, but anything from
Yeah.
A tier definitely has quite a bit of rewatchability.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I like my second time watching Squid Game. I've even watched it a third time in a couple of months. It's really good.
Oh yeah. Anyways, everything horror comments about our midnight mass being was it S tier? It was S tier.
Yeah.
He says, "I knew it," referring to how he knew that was the other
Yeah.
series we were talking
It was
about.
either going to be that or Chucky. I actually haven't seen Chucky yet.
I haven't seen Chucky yet either, and I'm really intrigued to watch
Yeah.
it. I've heard nothing but good things about it,
Yeah.
so I'm intrigued about it. And then he says, "Excellent show," which
So good.
it makes me want to watch it more.
Yeah, Midnight Mass is very well done.
But yeah,
High production value. We're going to
Cheers.
cheers for Midnight Mass.
yeah.
And I recommend doing one thing before we close the video out. How about we just have our top 10, top 11 movies here, which is S tier through A tier.
Yeah. Sure.
We'll start with S tier.
So,
Well, I guess
not in any
you
particular.
don't have to do Midnight Mass, and I don't have to do Gaia, but honestly,
Yeah.
so I'll just do mine quick. For what I'd say for this year, my rankings would be as this. I'll start with number one. Number one is Last Night in Soho is my top movie for 2021. Very good movie, twists and turns. You think you have everything down pat, but then you realize, like, oh, it's not exactly how you seem. Such a good movie. Same with Malignant. You don't think it's gonna go there, but it takes everything in a completely different direction. It's kind of a, it's a ride. Followed by that, I'd say Midnight Mass. Midnight Mass is my third thing, followed by Censor. What's the first thing in A tier there? Oh, the Advent calendar. I can't do the Advent calendar.
Yeah.
But the Fear Streets and Squid Game, I'd say Squid Game over Fear Streets, honestly.
Okay.
I really like Squid Game. Then followed by, I'd say, The Night House, which is 5th. And then Fear Streets, which is 6th. And then Candyman, which is 7th. I think I like that order.
Yeah.
But I won't go into the B tier too much. I mean, if anything, I'd have Lamb, like maybe in or
You ranked
before.
A for
Yeah,
Lamb.
I like Lamb a lot too.
Yeah.
So Lamb we can call like an 8th. And then if anything else, I'd have like Antlers in there as well. Maybe
Yeah.
Spiral. I have a guilty pleasure for Spiral. How about you, Tucker?
No, I agree. Yeah.
Hi, how's it going, Art with Horror?
Before I get into my top rankings, gotta bring out Art with Horror. He says, "Hello, gentlemen. Hey, Art. It's a pleasure for you to be here. We're honored to name you Horror Tuber of the Month. Honestly,
Yeah.
and you're such a positive presence in the horror community." And shout out to you. If you haven't heard of Art with Horror yet, go check his channel out.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
I want to see his new video on his unboxing with Art the Clown, which I love how he just released it today,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I want to see it. Obviously, Art with Horror and Art the Clown, that's the first thing I thought of when I thought of your channel.
Yeah.
I want to see that video. I'll check it out very soon here, my friend.
And we got Everything Horror saying, "What's up, Art?" Yeah, like we got a tight-knit horror community here.
Check out Art, by the ways, for 2 reasons. Number one, he's Horror Tuber of the Month, so definitely give him some recognition. Number two, check him out so you can check out the other YouTubers he has nominated for Horror Tuber of the Month.
Which one of them just commented? Canadian Crypt.
Canadian Crypt
He
is
says,
one of them.
Art is the man.
Yes.
Hey, you're not wrong, man. He nominated a lot of great horror tubers, and I'm excited to see who actually takes the cake for the month of January.
Yes.
And Art with Horror, I get that a lot. Thank you so much. Well, yeah, of course you get that a lot. Yeah. Anyways, my top movies, I gotta put Last Night in Soho.
Yeah.
Top number 1.
Okay.
It's pretty close with number 2, which is Malignant.
Yeah.
Can't disagree there. For me, for number 3, it's a tie between Censor and Gaia. So, I think I'm gonna put Gaia as number 3.
Okay.
Censor is number 4. After that, I'll put Come True. That's number 5 for me. The Night House I'm gonna put next. After the Night House, I put Candyman. And then Advent Calendar, I think.
Okay.
After that. And I do agree with you. If we go into B tier, I would put Antlers.
Okay.
And then Spiral. And then after that, honestly, it's a toss of the dice. I put either Lamb or Fear Street.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
I guess what we could do is we could stay on a little bit longer, just talk about what we've been doing with like our horror nights, just as with our friends, we'll say.
yeah, we can get into that too. Yeah.
So recently, I know ever since we've even done our live stream with Hector, we've still been working on the Resident Evil franchise. Obviously, it's been Christmas since that, and like
There's a
people
lot
like
of stuff.
sometimes it goes like a month without us doing it, but we want to really pull it back in. So we're on, I think, the 5th Resident Evil movie starting next week. We're still working on Resident Evil very slowly but surely. We did the Sixth Sense last night, and not a lot of the people who were in our clique really watch horror movies adamantly, so they didn't really know the twist.
Yeah.
So it was very neat to like kind of watch everybody like find out obviously the twist of the Sixth Sense and like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So that was a fun experience for sure.
Oh yeah. We try to do it on a weekly basis. Obviously, like you said, the holidays were around, so we kind of took a little bit of a hiatus, but we're getting back into it and having a lot of fun with it. But Snoop Black's commented, he says, this horror community seems amazing.
You wouldn't believe
Honestly, it is. Like, everyone seems to have everyone's back. Like, everyone's supporting everybody. They're shouting each other out, you know, like, it's a solid community to be a part of, and we're honestly honored to be a part of it.
So, for example, like I know how Snoop Black's is really tightly knit with the N64 community. Imagine like that, except with horror.
But
like everyone's very friendly within the whole community. Everyone loves to comment on each other's videos, give each other input, feedback. I just love seeing other people's content.
And then we have Art with Horror. Again, Art the Clown is my favorite clown.
Art the Clown is a very great clown. He's top 2 with
He's
Pennywise.
up there with Pennywise, yeah, exactly. And then he asks, does anyone know when Terrifier 2 comes out?
I want to say in October. It got delayed twice, which I thought it was going to come out this year, and I'm very disappointed that it didn't.
Yeah. Well, and then Everything Horror kind of responded to him saying, no set release date yet, but I would follow Damien Leone. And that's a good recommendation to kind of see when it's going to be released. That's one of my most anticipated movies for 2022, for sure. And then Snoop Black says, not many people in the clique. I see what you did there. Foreshadowing. We won't get into any more details. But yeah, that's just that's pretty much all we got to say. Those are all the movies we watched in 2021. 2021 releases, I should say.
Let us know what your favorites are for sure, because I feel like a lot of people's favorites differ from ours.
Yeah. Well, like we mentioned throughout the video, there's so many releases that were kind of split. Like, people either love them or they hated them.
Yeah.
Like Malignant. That was a key example.
Yeah.
And
Tuck and I just so happen to be on like the both loving it side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, we're big James Wan fans, so a little bit biased, but
yeah. But yeah, if anyone has any more, I guess, questions or anything for us, we're happy to answer. But we'll probably tune out of here in the next few minutes here.
Yeah. I guess we'll go on like a little bit more of like what we generally
what
do.
Our plan is. Or I guess we could ask, we are looking for more suggestions.
Oh, that's a great point actually. If you guys want us to do any horror movies, please suggest it to us.
I know
we're not fresh out of content. Obviously there's tens of thousands of horror movies, but we want to do what you guys want to see.
Yeah. So I know actually he just asked.
Any details on your lineup?
Any details on our lineup?
Specifically, we're doing Scream, and we'll go on to the next thing. We'll go on to Creep.
Well, we're going into Scream next, which we're going to release daily episodes from Monday to Friday from Scream 1 to 5. And then we're going into some more suggested content from our viewers. So we're going into The Dark and the Wicked.
The Dark and the Wicked. Which
is Brianna. She
we
comments
can't pronounce last names, but Brianna is one of our big fans. She recommended that. I think that might even be a 2021 release.
I think it's 2020.
Maybe it's 2020, 2021. Either way, I've heard nothing but great things about the movie, so I'm very happy she recommended it. So I have the opportunity to watch it.
Yeah, same. And so we're gonna go into The Dark and the Wicked. Our next release, which is coming out on next Friday, is Misery, which we've already recorded and stuff. But we're doing Misery next, and then Scream after that, and then after that is Dark and the Wicked, and then from there we're just doing more suggestions, which we've had Creep 1 suggested, so we're doing Creep 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then after that it's kind of up in the air. We did a post on Instagram asking for suggestions, so we'll be using some of those as well. So if you have any suggestions, go and follow us on Instagram and check us out there.
We have a great idea on what we want to do for April Fools. Which we won't get into that too much. Obviously that's like 3 months away, but I already have like a few rules for that movie, and I'm super excited for it. And I thought I wouldn't have that many rules going into the movie until I actually, weirdly enough, watched it once. Spoiler, I guess Snoop Lax is going to be in that video, but generally we have 10 drinking rules for each movie. And I found 16.
There's a lot of options.
I'm going to have a lot of fun with that movie, and I'm going to love doing it. So I look forward to it more than anything. Which is really weird if you know what the movie is.
Well, everyone knows Click. Anyways, Canadian Crypt commented, have you guys checked out Fender Bender on Shudder? I honestly haven't even heard of it. Would you recommend watching it, or is it more of a D or F tier? I don't even know.
I'd imagine since he asked, it's probably decent. On to next is Snoop Lax.
Snoop Lax. What is your opinion on popcorn twists compared to popcorn? He's asking me specifically. I like popcorn twists better than popcorn, but I don't like popcorn twists that much. He's asking because he knows that I don't really like popcorn that much, because it gets stuck in your teeth and it's just a pain in the ass to eat. So he thinks that I like popcorn twists more because, it tastes like popcorn, but either way, I like popcorn twists better, but popcorn twists are still D tier. And then Canadian Crypt says, I'm reviewing Creep next week. Hey, that's awesome.
Actually great. It lines up very well, so we'll be a lot more motivated to actually watch that. I'm very interested on what you have to say.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking at. And it's going to be a couple weeks from now. We're starting our Scream series a week after Scream 5's theatrical release, so it's a little bit later, but yeah. King Need Gore. Have y'all reviewed Driller Killer yet?
We have not.
No, we have not. Do you recommend us checking it out? That could be another suggestion that we look into. Everything horror.
Scream.
Glad to hear early Twitter reviews are positive.
That's good.
Yeah,
I'm very good to hear that, especially with no more Wes Craven. Speaking of which, now that everything horror is here, I forgot that we were very highly considering doing the Paranormal Activity franchise sometime in the near future.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, he suggested on our Instagram
He
post.
suggested on our Instagram post that we should do Paranormal Activity franchise.
Which, that's probably the series we'll look at next.
That's definitely high up there for sure. Especially since there's not anything like big coming out that we have to review all the movies for and then get everything in place. But I would love to. I think Tucker and I are very looking into doing Paranormal Activity next, to say the least.
And that it'll probably come out maybe in mid to late March or April is probably when it'll come out.
Anywhere from, we'll say, March to June.
Yeah, somewhere in that time frame.
Somewhere in that time frame. But I feel like that's going to be our next series.
He also suggested doing The Fly, which I'm not opposed to doing The Fly.
I'm not opposed to doing The Fly, but we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah.
There's also been talkings of doing The Birds, which...
The Birds, yeah. That was another
Instagram
suggestion we got on the Instagram, which was more Alfred Hitchcock.
We don't like...
Full disclosure, that was a suggestion from my mom. She's a big fan of us, I will admit. So more than me, I do want to honor her request and do more Hitchcock. There's just a few more Hitchcock that I would like to do, which The Birds is probably one of them.
Tucker and I aren't the biggest Hitchcock fans, but like a lot of his movies are great, like Psycho and The Birds. It's very unique that they bring very different things to the table, like having no soundtrack or being like the first slasher movie.
Well, and the fact that he is such a pioneer, I guess you'd say, in horror.
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
done so much to just push the horror genre forward.
Yeah.
It's cool to look back and see who the pioneers are.
I know, like,
so
we
I do
had
agree with that sense.
This very interesting period of time where we had a lot of like old horror movies, like we had Rosemary's Baby and Psycho all back to back, and sometimes that is a little bit too much, I'd say.
Yeah,
like I like my modern horror movies, I'll say that.
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying. I do like modern horror movies. I do love the classics though too, personally. I love looking at the classics, and it's less like more people don't click on classic horror movies. So like a lot of people see that we're posting an episode on, Psycho. That's like, oh, it's from the 1960s. People aren't going to click on that because it's so old.
Yeah.
But
it's like, I think Dead Meat did an episode of Night of the Living Dead or something like that, which I would love to do just because it's free domain.
It's it's public domain. That'd be a great one to do live, actually.
Yeah, that'd be, like, that's probably the number one that we would do live, just because it's so easy.
Yeah, and also, it's a good movie. Honestly. Yeah. And it's one of the pioneers of the zombie. Yeah. It's the pioneer of
but like
zombie.
On the other side of the fence, like he got very few reviews for that movie, or like very few clicks for that movie, which is honestly such a disgrace because it's such a good movie.
It is.
Even though it's in black and white. Like, I'm pretty sure it'd happen the same thing if anyone did anything for Psycho.
Yeah.
Go on to the
King Need Gore. I absolutely recommend doing a drinking game for Driller Killer. It's a treasure trove of excuses to say, take a shot.
He said it, not me.
He said it, yeah. I guess you gotta give me a shot, too. But, yeah, that'll be... Look
at my nostrils, oh God.
We'll add Driller Killer to the list. We'll do it sometime in the near future, within the next 2 months, let's say. And cheers for the suggestion.
Oh my goodness, my nostrils, that hurt.
And then moving on, Canadian Crip says, I'd be into an episode on the Birds. Hey, I'm glad to hear it. We're probably going to do an episode on the Birds. And it's cool to see where horror came from, and, it's one of the early horror movies that came before it was a huge genre. Everything Horror says, Rear Window is low-key my favorite Hitchcock. That was another one that I suggested to Tucker that we should do, because we suggested Hitchcock horror, so I suggested, I think, that one, and I think Dial M for Murder. Yeah. Mm-hmm. M for Murder was another one, and... I think you had another one that you wanted to watch. There was another one, and it's escaping my mind right now, but... Anyways, Everything Horror, Alex casually taking a shot. We did that for King Need Gore, because of his
I saw the comment over there, so I just decided to pour it.
Yeah.
It said shot on the screen.
And then Stu Black says, that one looked rough, Alex.
It wasn't that rough. It was more or less that I just kind of coughed it up and it went through my nostrils.
He inhaled it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, we got a few suggestions here to look at over the next, couple months and stuff. So thank you guys for tuning in. It was fun to be doing our first live stream on our own channel.
Yeah.
And I think it went relatively well. There was a few hiccups here and there,
I mean, you had the hiccups for a bit.
I had the hiccup. Yeah.
There was both literal and metaphorical hiccups.
Yeah.
It's been a great time, though, everybody.
Yeah. So if you have any more suggestions or feedback, or you want to say what your favorite horror movies of 2021 were, or even the worst, we would love to hear from you. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. And this is us saying cheers to fears.
Bye, everyone.